You have heard much about how important collaboration is to the ambitions of the Global Resilience Institute. And in that context, it's my great pleasure to call our panelists to the stage.
There's actually really three reasons why I think what you're doing here is so critical. First is that, from my perspective, if we're products of our experience, then my experience tells me crisis is the natural state of affairs, and it's punctuated by these unnaturally calm states that really make me nervous because I know there's another one coming.
It's not a case of protecting everything from everybody all the time against all risk. That's a fool's errand. Instead, it's providing this framework of what do you need to do to try to preserve functionality in the face of disruptive risk, even if you lose functionality, that you can recover quickly and get back to your business.
The important part of resilience is really preparing for, learning from, and adapting to change and disruptions, and that change part is really critical.
Continuing to do things the way we were is not a sustainable answer. So we are looking at means to start tackling that problem. Next thing that will happen will not be the last thing that happened, which is challenging. So in that regard, the fundamental premise of the Global Resilience Institute tackles exactly those dimensions. The multidisciplinary aspect of things, the question of models, the policy questions, and the incentivization questions. And those are collectively the things that are needed.
We always have to have the industry partners, the policy people, and especially these end user communities, what we call them, that could be first responder communities, law enforcement communities, it could be the health sector. All of them have to be involved when we develop resilient solutions. At the end of the day, when we want to, what you guys call at Northeastern, use inspired research and actually translate the insights that we get from, let's say, scientific excellence, and we all want to be scientifically excellent, we want to publish, we want to work academically, but in the end, on this endeavor, I think what Steve has shown really nicely in this example with the global supply chain, this is a real world problem and a real world challenge.
There's a need for connectedness when crisis happens, because what you think of as something that you do just on your own really takes a lot of people to solve.
The urbanization has created essentially a concentration of assets. The interconnectedness of our physical networks is ever increasing. And frankly, lack of investment or just reality of things means that today we have no spare capacity.
If crisis is sort of a natural thing that's going to happen, and you've got to be connected in order to make crisis work, then you have to figure out, how do I make sure that I don't revisit the same lessons? You don't want to just observe lessons over and over again. You'd really like to do something different the next go around. So I think that as a practitioner, I don't want, if there's another oil spill, explosion oil spill in the Gulf, I would hate to think that we would just go back and do the same thing we did last time. There were some things that we learned about that can build more protections into the system, that can maybe have it adapt going forward.
We've heard a lot about sudden shocks when we think about accidents or terrorist attacks or big storms or earthquakes, but resilience also incorporates slowly emerging disruptions or chronic stresses, and in that realm, thinking about growing inequality in society, for example, or thinking about climate change and gradually increasing sea level rise, or thinking about concentrations of wealth and power, that those are also issues that fall under the resilience umbrella when we take a broader perspective, and that is the intention here at Northeastern.
Northeastern has this approach of use-inspired research, of taking brilliant research and bringing it into practical use. And that's why this institute at this university is so critical, not only for the practitioner community, but really for so many elements of society.
The reality is every generation confronted adversity and they overcame it. And it was precisely that overcoming that gave them that sense of confidence and optimism that we can shape our future as individuals, as communities, as societies. That's something that resilience has that I think can really inspire us and motivate us. I'm honored to be a part of this tremendous team, but you're also very much a part of this enterprise, and I hope we continue to engage you and that you continue to contribute. Thank you so much.